On you guys, Koki here, and today I want to do something different for my channel. So today, you can see my shadow in the background. Today, every Monday, today is Monday, so the video might be up by Tuesday. So every Monday, I'm going to start a video called hashtag Memory Monday, where I would tell a video about a memory in the past. Some of them may be good, some of them may be bad. But my point is not to be narcissistic here, but, you know, some people may be going through similar things that I did, and I don't want them to feel alone. Or they may need a laugh, someone to connect to, and that's something I want to do, you know, connect to everybody out there. Now, I'm not big yet. Hopefully one day I'll grow. But if I do, then those watching the videos in the future, hopefully I can connect to you guys somehow. And yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Today's story, I want to talk about my stepmom, or my former stepmom, thank the Lord. I met her back in 2004 or 5. It all started with my dad. We were driving back from, I believe it was a trip to the Discovery Science Center. And there's this lady driving up in a redhead lady driving up in a Mazda, like a 1990s car, and pulled up to our window, our car, and they rolled down the window, and she's like, "Hi, my love," in Spanish. And my dad, like, "Oh, hi, sweetie." And then they were talking, and then they rolled up the window. He took me out to eat for dinner, and he told me, I was like, "Who the hell is she?" And he told me, "That's your stepmom." I'm just like, "What? Hold on a second. Go back. She's my stepmom. You left my mom for this bitch. She's ugly. Are you serious?" So, unfortunately, yes, that happened, but I don't know. I don't know what was going through my dad's mind. They were together. I hated her because obviously she's the woman my dad left, you know, my mom, and went with this bitch. So after I met her, I didn't like her at all. We didn't get along. I would, you know, hog my dad all for myself. She made dinner one night, and I remember sitting down at the table, and I was eating her food, and I was like, "Oh, this is salty. Oh, this is dry. This is that. This is that." And I'm just like being a dick. And she said to my dad, "Tell your son to respect my food because it's very disrespectful." So I did otherwise. Like hell, I would do that. So I kept being a dick. And she said, "Well, you need to be nice or I will take away your Super Nintendo, which is this baby right here." You guys can see that? Now, this is classic gaming, so ain't nobody gonna mess with it except for my mama. Now, since this bitch wasn't my mama, she, you know, thinks she has power over me. Now, when I told my mom this, she called my dad and went on his ass ruthless. And, you know, we didn't get along for the following year. You know, one time I remember my summer was over. It was about 2004, like going to 5th grade. I stole her cell phone. Because I didn't have a cell phone. I wanted one as a kid because, well, I wanted a phone. Spoiled a little bit. But that's not my point. So I stole her phone and I kept it in my luggage. I forgot to put it on silent. Now, this is the Nokia phones we had back in the early 2000s. This is not the smartphones that we have today. I didn't know how to put it into silent mode. So what I did, I just put it in my pocket. And then before we left, they were looking for her phone and they couldn't find it. So they decided to call it. When they called it, my bag began to ring. Now, mind you this, she looked pissed. She was like, "Oh my God." Like, she had that look on her face, the death stare, as I call it. And my dad was like, "Okay, we're just going to go get your phone." But he bought me a prepaid phone. So, I mean, at the time, I grew up, I was living in Anaheim. This is a period of time where a lot of kids got kidnapped, and well, that was one of the reasons why I got a phone. In case if something happens, I can send a text or call, say, "You know what, I'm getting kidnapped or something," or "I'm okay." Kind of like a checkup. So, my dad used to live. My dad lived in Santa Ana, California. I grew up there as a kid. Born in Anaheim, grew up in Santa Ana, and then lived in Anaheim again. And I've been there ever since. So, going back to our story. So after my dad bought me a phone, I guess they had a fight between my former stepmother and my dad. This bitch made him choose between me or her. Obviously, my dad, being a good dad, making a smart choice for the first time, he chose me. So she got mad, took her shit, and left to Guatemala, where my family's from. So after doing that, I never saw her again for about a year or so. Now, my dad was a man whore. He had a thing. I don't know what it was. I mean, according to most of my mom, he wasn't attractive. So how did he do it? I don't know. I guess he has that charm. Do I have it? I don't think so. Anyway, so he went out with this lady that had a huge crush on her daughter. Oh my gosh, she was cute. And I went crazy for this girl. I would brush my hair, brush my teeth twice, use Listerine, which I didn't use because it burned the hell out of your mouth. I would eat like half a pack of Tic Tacs, chew mint gum, anything to make my breath smell just irresistible, as so I thought. And I would put cologne on myself, aftershave, you name it. I would dress up. I would look my best for this girl. One night, I remember my dad went somewhere with this lady, and my dad went somewhere, and I stayed with this lady, and I think she was sleeping. And it was just her daughter and I in the living room watching The Simple Life with Paris Hilton. Or, starring Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie. Anyways, so she knew I liked her, and she's like, well, if you like me, then why don't you kiss me? And I just stared at her face. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Why did you ask me that? My face turned red. I was blushing. And I'm like, you know what? I really like you and stuff, but looks like our parents are having a thing here. And if they do get married, you and I are going to become step-brother and sister, and it's just going to be too awkward. I don't think so. It's just going to be, no. I just didn't want to. Number one, I didn't have the balls. But then number two, I thought about it, and I'm like, seems reasonable. So after that, something happened between them where it didn't work out. So next, I don't know how many women he dated, but the ones I do remember is that he dated about a 23-year-old, 25-year-old. Now keep in mind, at this time he was in his 40s, mid 40s, late 40s. So yeah, he was really old. And I remember he broke the news to me, and I was like, oh my God, that's disgusting. You're like 40, you're like 46 and she's 25? No, come on, brother. That's not, no. She's too young. She might as well be your daughter. So, I mean, I liked his girlfriend because she was energetic. She was young. I remember she was allergic to pork. There's this one time we went to Costco and she made him buy cleaning supplies. She bought me a briefcase full of stamps. She bought me a memory foam pillow. She bought a lot of things for the house, which my dad needed because he needed to touch up the house a bit. So there's this one night where I guess I make noises when I sleep. I don't know if I still do it, but I used to back then. I think I was groaning, and then she got up and she left the room because she was scared. And I told her, oh no, I just did it to scare you. I'm like, well, I don't want to tell her I make noises. That's just embarrassing. So she came back to the room. She's like, okay, fine. We're cool and stuff. And I don't know what happened. I never saw her again. My dad told me that he finally realizes that she's young and it's just not going to work out. Is that the truth? I don't know. I just took his word for it. Next, he dated this lady that was just amazing. A perfect match for him. Now, this lady, her name was Adela. That's all I remember. She was very nice, very sweet. My sister liked her. I liked her. If my dad wanted to marry her, I said go for it. Instead of the chatty Cathy, I'll call her. Instead of Chatty Cathy over there, he could have married Adela. But, you know, her and I, we got along very well. My dad got along very well with her. It was just the perfect couple, I would say. And I guess in the, like, what I've seen in the movies, like, you have to ask permission, you know, kids permission. Hey, is she okay? Can I marry her? What do you think about her? I told my dad, you want to get married with her? Be my guest. You know, I approve. This is Koki approved. Yeah, so I tried. Well, I didn't try. I actually did. She bought me she spoiled me. She was very sweet. Now, I remember one time we went to San Diego. She asked me, has your dad dated any other women? Now, I didn't want to lie. I obviously was going to say yes, but at the time before I even answered that question, my dad came back with some nachos, and I just changed the subject. I'm like, oh no, you're the only woman. I sounded sarcastic, obviously, but I guess she got the picture. But I don't know what happened. I think I might have blew it. I might have blown it. I never saw her again. Never knew about her. All my dad told me was her kids didn't like him, so no, it just didn't work out. Then, a few months later, I get the news that Chatty Cathy is coming back. So, knowing that she made my dad choose between me and her, I hated her even more. So, when she came back, we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. We used to live in a 1-bedroom, then we moved to a 2-bedroom. An uncle of mine had his own bedroom at the time. Excuse me. And then when he moved out, I had my own room. So when she came back, I hated her even more. She tried to get along with me every Friday. When my dad would leave me, I would stay home alone for a few hours. She would come home. We would go out to main place or visit any childhood locations that I used to go, like school, apartments, you name it. So when she cooked, I remember once she made like a beef soup with meatballs in it. I helped her make the meatballs, then I went inside my room and locked the door, had my own business, you know, kept my own business in there. So when she went to the restroom, I came out of that restroom, or I came out of my room, I'm sorry, and while she was in the restroom, we had like this big old bottle of salt, like the Norton bottle, you know, something like that. So I took that and I poured a lot of salt into that soup. Now, when I tried it, it was the saltiest soup I ever tried in my life. This can maybe put you in a diabetic coma. So I did that prank to her. When they tried the soup, oh my God, all of us spat that crap out. That night, we just decided to go out and eat. I don't know. Did they suspect? I don't think so. My dad asked me, did I have anything to do with it? All I said was, you know what? I was in my room. My door was locked. You can ask her. I didn't do anything. So they just let go of it. Okay, whatever. We'll go out and eat. Then there was the shampoo incident. Now, I don't think this did much of an effect, but her hair got a little bit dry. A little too dry, actually. I took her shampoo bottle, emptied about a quart of it, replaced it with detergent, dish soap, hand soap. I spat in it and did other things I don't think I want to say on the camera, which you probably can imagine what. Nothing inappropriate, I assure you, but I just, you know, some stuff. And then I took that bottle and I shook it, put it right back. I never touched it. She used it. Her hair came out horrible. I mean, it was kind of poofy and dry and no. And then that was a perfect plan. When she was brushing her hair, like every time she would let go, it would either get stuck in her hair or a lot of hair would come off like a big hairball, and it was just nasty. Then there was the hair paint incident where I tried to I successfully got one of the bottles that used, I guess, one of the chemicals. Excuse me. I drained out about almost half. I filled it up with Clorox. Yeah, I did. I put that back inside the drawer, like if I never touched it. Now, the next day, I wake up to a scream. I run to the restroom with my dad, and there she is. Her hair extremely blonde, staring with fear in the mirror, and we're just like, oh my God, what happened? Now for me, I know what I did, but I wanted to laugh, but I held it in, and I just went on with the flow. What happened? Oh my God, you should sue the company. Luckily, she's not the kind of person that sues, or at least a company. So she went back to the store where she bought it with a cap on, and they refunded her money and gave her a free product, I guess. So that fixed her hair. That fixed her hair, and I did the old switcheroo. She kept her shoes, her slippers, like left foot, right foot, and I would switch them. Like her buttons, I would cut a little bit, it's like enough for it to pop off. I skip one button, cut the other, you know, like yes, no, that kind of thing. I ruined one of her favorite blouses. I didn't touch it. Why are you blaming me? So, the last time I saw this lady was when my dad moved away, and I went to pick up my stuff. When I got to the apartment, it was an awkward scene. She opened the door and, like I said, gave me that death stare. I was with one of my aunts, and I went to pick up my stuff. Some of my stuff was missing. Did she sell it? I don't know, but they were missing. Some of my games were missing, systems, clothes, you name it. Some of them are gone, so I left with very little. So I never saw her again. But I did find out that she left my dad for some other douchebag. So I don't know. Not that I'm calling my dad a douchebag, but I'm calling the guy a douchebag. But my dad had what was coming to him. So did he deserve it? Maybe. But I'm nobody to judge. So that was one of the mean things I did to my stepmom. Did I enjoy it? Hell yes, I enjoyed it. You know, some kids do the darnest things. But that's just the best, I guess. So that was the story of my stepmom, how I met her, all the pranks I did, and some of the messed up shit she did. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, favorite, comment, share, and enjoy, and have a nice day. All right, guys, I'll see you later.